DC, do you have your guitar?
Yeah.
Woo! He's so dejected.
It's the only good thing about the podcast. Welcome to the official BPD Podcast Episode 4. According to our YouTube analytics, the number 3 Fortnite strategy podcast in Moldova.
Why? How are we only number 3? That's such a small niche.
Ever since our first podcast episode went live, if you go into any Moldovan server on Fortnite, it's just 100 people landing at the heli at the very start of the match.
I would actually like to see the demographics of our channel, because I feel like because the channel is so small, and because we know we have like one person from Moldova watching, it's going to be like 30% of our audience.
Does he watch?
I mean, I hope so.
No, he's like that. He's like BPD Podcast stupid in his void voice.
It's not Void.
Who's from Moldova?
Adrian.
Wow, this is so racist, bro.
I knew when DC said he, the moment DC said he, I was like, DC, who is he? I bet you don't know who our Moldovan viewer is.
Wait, where's Void from?
Yo, I just want to say, Adrian gets so many shout-outs on this podcast just for being from Moldova.
Adrian is a girl and is also from Moldova?
What? Where did you get that from?
Well, Pound just corrected me when I said he.
No, I said because you said a general pronoun. I'm like, I bet he doesn't know who he is.
Bro, all right, we're scrapping all of this. We're scrapping all of this.
No, we're not. I am.
Romania. Yeah. The editors are going to cut this out.
Why'd you get so close to the mic?
Oh my god, I'm just going to stand still in the corner and just not talk.
Please do it.
I will have a new microphone next week and y'all can just shove it up yours.
You said that last week.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't see Mummy, okay?
That was so weird.
Okay, DC, tell us about this fancy mic stand you bought.
No, we want the intro song first.
Alright, let's just Pound, start us off. Do another intro.
Welcome to the BPD Podcast, your information site for comedy.
Nice, that was decent.
Where's the guitar? Do you see what
yeah, it's right here.
Walks across the room.
Don't worry, somebody's gonna edit this out.
This one's gonna be a little darker for those.
Okay.
What?
This sets the tone, very podcast.
Moldova. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me think here. I was about to start singing about Moldova.
No, that's it. That's
the first thing that came to my mind. Moldova. So you found yourself in front of a computer, YouTube, maybe Twitch. You've listened to a couple of guys who don't know how to buy a Nintendo. No, hold on. I got this.
I love that DC continually refers to us as a couple of guys, but there's 3 of us.
Even if it's 3.
Well, for my whole life, dude, I always said, like, I never meant...
I completely agree with you.
Literally. Like, give me a couple M&Ms. If you hand me 2 fucking M&Ms, bro, I'm gonna slap you.
I have always said a couple to mean a few. I'm completely on board with you.
Yeah.
But then somebody called me a dumbass, and I've been a dick to anyone who I can view as lesser than me. I've made sure to crack down on their use.
It's like people who correct you whenever you say, like, the wrong version of you and I.
Yeah.
Like, it's you and me. Yeah, fuck that.
And yeah, it's exactly like that, where somebody can do something wrong for like 30 years of their life, and then they find out the real thing. The next time somebody does it wrong, they're like super snooty about it. They're like, what are you, an idiot? How could you fuck that up? It's like, you've been doing it wrong too.
I love correcting people on the correct version of I or me, but I'm a grammar.
Why don't you give us an example since you're such an expert?
Good. DC.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick example. If you were saying Jody and I are going to the park, right? You couldn't say Jody and me or me and Jody. It's Jody and I. And the way you figure that out, here's a fun little tip, is you cut the other subject out of the sentence and would it still make sense? So Jody and I are going to the park. I am going to the park. If you say Jody and me are going to the park, me is going to the park doesn't make sense.
I'm going to give you a huge round of applause because I completely thought you were going to say I are going to the park.
Me too. I was like, this sentence doesn't work.
I have a soft spot for grammar.
All right, now supposedly you were doing the actual guitar intro.
Oh, you guys still want me to try that again?
I quite like the 4 strums Moldova.
It's so hard to think of words on the fly.
Okay, tell you what if
Pound, you sing.
We're not doing that, but
BPD Pod. Podcast. Just a couple of friends, couple of good friends.
Not a couple.
Well, yeah, fuck.
No, that was fantastic. Fuck you, Bailey.
Well, I was giving ad libs. Come on, you didn't have to stop.
All right, me and Bailey will do ad libs. You sing.
So you guys are gonna sing?
No, you're singing and we're doing ad libs.
This is such a mess.
This is awful, yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the best podcast. Woo! No. This is not. I have the song choice. I need to be happier. Like.
This is just a stolen beat. You can't use this.
How is that stolen? What
Is
do you
that
mean?
not a song?
It's dude, that's like every song. I like how Pound's just in the background going.
I was gonna join it, but I was too busy fucking laughing.
So you tuned in.
That's all you did.
Dude, I can't think of a fucking thing right now. My mind is like mush.
Just go. Don't make
We're
it rhyme.
hanging out
Just
with a
walk.
couple of friends. We're both talking into a microphone. Yay! We're just saying funny things. Who knows how it's gonna... Woohoo! Oh, this is so painful, bro. I'm losing all hope in myself.
He's failed his career as a musician.
Alright, last try. If this doesn't work, we're just
Alright,
scrapping
let's get it. Yeah.
I'm about to like...
Go.
So you found yourself in front of a computer, twitch.tv. Nope, we're done.
Oh, come on, man.
Are you implying that it's tricky to rock a rhyme that's right on time?
Oh god, yeah. Why couldn't you do this? You should have said that, and then like.
That's an actual song. That's we get copyrighted.
I know. I figured as much. Oh, okay.
DC, just say like an actual song, but over your own beat.
I could just.
I'm just
People do it all the time.
I'm just gonna play "Mask Off" by Future. Just
Okay.
I know. He's actually going for it.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. But Pound or Bailey, just start riffing about the podcast.
No.
okay, I'll do it. It's gonna be offbeat.
Okay, yeah.
If you had one shot
Yeah.
to listen to a podcast and become the greatest podcast listener, you'd go to YouTube, BPD Podcast. Let's go! Flames!
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's the electric energy we need to bring.
I like how when I pitched
Alright,
this
just-
idea to you guys to have a podcast, I was like, yeah, it's not going to be a big time commitment, just like an hour a week. We're a third of the way through the hour, and we've done the intro.
Yeah, we got the intro. All right, now we can start the potty.
All right, DC said last week that he wants this to be the girls episode, so I assume he has...
What?
You don't even remember the podcast?
I don't remember that bit, no.
DC, do you remember saying that?
I said, so next week, yeah, I did say it. Well, next week we're going to talk about you guys and girls.
Oh, no.
Okay, I assume, DC, you have an incredible girl story for us.
Well, I don't just have no, I don't. I don't have one good
This is
story
your
about a
topic.
girl. I didn't plan it out. Okay, so let's start off the podcast with a question from our viewers.
Okay, I got one.
All right, let's hear it.
This question was number 38 out of 39 responses. And in the submissions box, it says, titties or ass?
Ooh, this is so easy. I don't even have to think for 45 milliseconds.
Go on, then.
And I know Pound's answer, too. We're both going to healthily
I
answer
think
the
my
word titties.
answer may surprise you.
I swear to God, if you say ass, Pound, then everything you've ever showed us or talked about is
You
just
said
a lie.
showed us?
No, I said showed us.
Okay, so let me give you my more in-depth answer. I have an absolute obsession with titties, as I've mentioned on previous episodes. I think tits are the coolest thing ever, especially as a 24. Like, I love If I meet a girl,
Nope, done. Nope, we're done.
Have you ever had sex?
This just sounds so creepy. Ever since I laid my eyes on the first pair of boobs, I was in love.
if I meet a
God's
girl,
greatest creation.
if I meet a girl with tits the size of her head, I will simp all over the planet for her. But that was my not in-depth answer. That was my horny answer. My slightly more nuanced answer is that I understand that once I get into my 30s and 40s, titties start not doing so hot, but girls with nice butts hold up a lot better. I'm on like a timetable where up to like 35 or so, I'm all about the titties. Around, coming up on my 40s, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's not looking too good anymore, and I'll start finding a nice flat girl with a big butt.
Okay, but what if you find a girl who has both?
That's just wonderful.
Right, but then what if you get to age 40, but her ass declines massively, but the tits are still fire?
Oh yeah.
Are you still on the timetable?
If they're both if there's a girl with the best boobs on the planet and a girl with the best butt on the planet, I would go with the girl with the best boobs on the planet. There's even outside of a sexual context, there is so much you can do with them. You can it's like silly, putty. You can.
I don't want to hear the M word.
The N word.
M, but close.
What?
Yeah, I'm on the titty train.
Imagine a train full of titties.
Right? My very shallow answer is that men also have asses, so it's a little bit gay.
Yeah, it's pretty gay.
I don't. Somebody commented in our YouTube video that you guys say so many things that would get you canceled. This is one of them.
What? You're allowed to like boobs. What are you talking about?
I know, but
No, I think he was talking about the liking girls' ass is a bit gay.
All of it? Isn't it a little? Isn't it like creepy to hear people talk about detailed stuff like that? I don't know. On a podcast, I'd get into that with my boys.
Aren't there entire podcasts about sex?
Yeah, but I don't watch those.
No, but they're not cancelled.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, I know. I got you. I just pleading the fifth, I guess. Okay, so that question was answered. I do.
That's our daily viewer question: titties or ass? In the comments, chat in the comments.
Yeah, in the YouTube comments, do you prefer tits or butts?
We had no counter argument for ass, by the way. We're very biased.
So if you are an ass man, you better get your ass into the comments.
Good. Great discussion.
I have so much to say, but I'm just not going to say
it. Do it, you pussy! Do it!
I'm worried that my job's going to find my podcast. All right, so ask one more question from that sheet.
Name inspiration. Why are we called the BPD Podcast? Pound, I'll let you start on this one. Because I know DC is very opposed to it. So okay. Pound, you start. Then DC can oppose it. Then I'll oppose DC.
The advice I was given is that the name of your podcast is basically worthless because there are so many stupidly named podcasts that take off. Because at the end of the day, it's about the quality of the content. If this sucks, the name doesn't matter. Shit. And if we had the shittiest name, but it's awesome, people are still gonna start listening to it. There's so many popular people like PewDiePie. That name makes zero sense whatsoever. You could argue all day that it's a stupid name, but people think it's a cool name because they like his content. Once we're popular, people are going to be like, oh, of course you call it the BPD Podcast. What a great name. I don't think the name matters too much in the long run, and it's just our three names put together, Bailey, Pound, and DC, in order of who usually shows up to Discord first to do the call.
Good.
Dude, I think when I'm looking at podcasts, the name is everything. It gets my attention or it doesn't. When I look at something like, I don't know, what's a cool name for a what's a popular podcast?
That's the issue. We can't come up with
I don't know. Ours just seems informational. You said PewDiePie, people like it because his content's good, but his name's also interesting. Our name is boring, and I think that
our name is boring because nobody watches us. Once people watch us, they're going to say how cool the name is.
No. Just if you see BDP Podcast,
that's not what it's called.
Or right below it, you see the Tyrannosaurus Rex Explosion Podcast. Which one are you going to fucking click, bro? And I don't know why I'm going back to dinosaurs again, but
okay,
I think the name is everything.
I'm going to go through the names of the podcast I follow on Spotify.
No, wait, before you do that, right? DC, you said the name is boring, right?
Yeah.
What about the Joe Rogan podcast?
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Right.
He did that after he was already famous.
Okay, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he was already famous when he did that.
I didn't know who he was. He was.
I mean, he was the
Fear
host
Factor.
of Fear Factor. Yes, he was on cable television. Yes, it is.
Well, it's more famous than all of us combined.
He was very famous. What do you Pound like? Oh, you were just on The Simpsons as a voice actor? That's not famous.
Nobody knows who the Simpsons voice actors are.
Yeah,
I'm using really bad examples, but you get it. You get it.
No, I just disagree. And actually, if there was a podcast named like the Tyrannosaurus Explosion podcast, or whatever the fuck you said, I would divert from that podcast because why am I going to listen to a podcast about fucking dinosaurs?
It's not about dinosaurs.
Right? But the point is, the name suggests that it might be. So I'm going to go, probably not for me. And then secondly, if I listen to the podcast and if I like it, I'm not going to share it to anyone because I'm not going to sit down with somebody and seriously say, hey, check out the Tyrannosaurus Exploding podcast.
Yeah, here's what would happen, man. DC. Somebody would be scrolling through YouTube. They would see the Exploding Dinosaur podcast, and they'd be like, I don't care to listen about chickens, and they'd scroll through it.
No, just, you guys, I don't know. We'd have to maybe ask the viewers to make a vote or something.
We did. And they suggested like weird shit.
The number one recommendation we got from our viewers for the name was The Talk.
Wasn't one of them about sex as well?
Pound, how much cooler is the Sleepycast podcast rather than
awesome.
the QRJ podcast?
But I can't call it the Sleepy Cast. It's already taken.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying it's so much cooler than the RQF podcast.
We can call it the Woken Cast, and we can talk about political issues.
Let's do it. We're changing it.
No, let's be like the cottage cheese experience.
No,
like just something so arbitrary.
We're gonna get cool. Middle-aged woman listening to it.
Okay.
String cheese guitar player, like just something cool, dude.
I have pulled up the form that was people submitted. We had 17 responses. These are all the names we were given as suggestions. Shitty Streamers Pod. Lol No Bailey the Boss Podcast.
That's kind of cool.
BPD Ultra Q&A. That's kind of cool. The Lol No Friends Cast. You guys aren't even in the name of that
one. We're friends. What do you mean?
No, how about just the No Friends Cast? Because, like, you guys don't have any... We don't have any friends.
But imagine you're sharing that to somebody. You're like, oh, yeah, I listened to the No Friends podcast.
I don't know.
But it's cool. It's interesting. Yes, exactly.
You're just like, I have no friends, so I listen to this podcast.
Yes, exactly. We'll be like... And then we could call our army, like, the No Friends or, like, the Frenemies or something real stupid like that.
Or the Boston Police Department.
Yeah. For real, dude. That's what we are. That's the BPD pod.
Oh, wait. We totally should have called this Sharktown.
See, that's cool. Yeah. That's badass.
All right. Are we rebranding right now?
No, what we should do is make 3 final names and then let the viewers vote on it, and that's it.
Look, if the viewers vote, it's going to be called the 69 podcast.
No. We provide the 3. We don't let them come up with it. So
my submission is the 69 podcast.
That has to be cliche. A thing already.
Yeah, that's cliche.
Did you guys know? Well, of course y'all know. I sent it to y'all. There's a BDP podcast from 10 years ago.
Yeah. DC hasn't seen it because he doesn't check our chat.
I texted it to him.
I still haven't seen it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like the Blue Devils Pride podcast. It's like this small high school in North Carolina.
Oh,
the mascots are Blue Devils. So it's a BDP podcast.
Why do they have a podcast? What do they talk about?
It's just like they're like.
That's what I'm saying, Pound. The small town high school fucking football team is so uncreative that they literally called it the BPD podcast.
The BDP.
I'm sorry. The BDP podcast.
You got it right again.
What, dude? I'm getting so mad at what is it? The BPD podcast. That's the name of ours. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be like the cottage cheese explosion experience.
No, that's really bad.
I think
not that, but something like that.
I like Shark. My vote's for Shark Tank.
The No Friends podcast is actually pretty cool.
But nobody gets the Shark Tank joke.
Shark Tank's too random.
Shark Tank is too random from exploding Tyrannosaurus Rex, man.
Wait till I submit my final submission, and I think the No Friends podcast actually sounds really cool, and I'm gonna look it up after to see if it's taken. It's interesting. It would pique all of our interest.
And then the final submission is The Adventures of BPC. So it just doesn't even have DC's. It has his second initial in it.
Wow, DC's getting doxed, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking doxed, bro.
Your name's already DC.
Why you can't open cans in the podcast, bro? Come on.
Why
you have a mute button.
No, fuck that, bro. This brings me to my sponsor. This is I actually have a Bang Energy right here. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bang it off the table. All right, anyways.
You didn't mean to bang it off the table, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is a diet root beer I just cracked open.
Thank you, DC. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I think we should each submit one name. We each get to submit one name, and then the viewers get to vote. What do you guys think?
Let's do it. I agree with that idea. We just have to remake every social media.
No, I'm not doing this, by the way.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Can you just,
because you're the one who wanted it changed, you have to remake.
You
all
can
of
just
the graphics
change like the
standards.
Twitch and the YouTube name, right?
No.
Oh man,
I'm sure you can.
True.
I've seen YouTubers change your. Yeah.
You can.
Ash has changed his name.
Oh yeah, I changed
But
my
DC's
name.
doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. If we change the name, I'll
And you're
make
redoing the graphics as well.
No, I can't do graphics.
Well, then we're not changing the name.
Oh, the animation.
We're still gonna have
Who
the
did
same
that?
animation. It's just not gonna make sense.
No, we're not.
Okay. Are there any like minor things that you do? Are there any minor accomplishments you do that make you feel just like superhuman? I had that happen to me earlier today. I had to microwave something. The instructions say microwave for 1:30. So the instructions say type 130. I, being a superhuman calculator, I typed 90 because it's the same thing. I saved one button press. I felt like a god looking above everyone else. Do y'all have any similar scenarios where you do something very minor and you just feel like a genius for doing it?
I actually do something very similar with a microwave. If something has to go in for a minute, I'll just press the 1 button 3 times instead of 100, just because I don't have to move my hand. So, I'm in microwave gang.
What?
But I'm not superhuman.
What?
What?
All right,
What's so weird about that?
First of all, 11 seconds in a microwave can be catastrophic.
Yeah, well,
it can
it
be
isn't.
life or
Well, he
death.
stops it early.
And you boys are telling me that you feel that you've hacked life when you cut out the distance from
That wasn't
the
me.
1 to the 0 on the microwave?
That wasn't me. That was Pound. I was just commenting on the
The point of the topic was
I
that it
get
was
the
minor
question.
stuff. Yeah.
I get it. I didn't think anybody felt the drain on the microwave ever. Like if I have to hit an extra button, I never even thought twice about it. But
Yeah. Well, that's
Good
what
to know. Maybe I
separates
will.
you and me, DC.
very true. Life hacks.
Life hacks with Ben. That's gonna be a recurring segment. I'm just gonna have one life hack every episode. And you're not gonna know what minute in the podcast is gonna be, so people just have to tune in for the whole thing.
And they're all going to be about microwaves, too.
Tune in next week when I give you a quicker way to type in 1 minute.
No, I'd have to think about it.
I can't say that I do. I'm useless. That's all
DC
I
is
am.
totally gonna be. Remember when I talked earlier about how when people do something wrong their whole life, and they find out the right thing, they're really DC's gonna do that. Like Jenna is gonna type like 130 in the microwave. DC's just gonna start chuckling to himself. He's like, oh, really?
How long you been doing that?
Yeah.
You've wasted literally over 90 seconds in your life.
He's like, throughout your life, you could have microwaved another one.
Yeah, I probably will.
DC's like, why don't you just put it in the oven at that rate? Like,
There are some things that. Do you guys always go the extra distance to bake something in the oven rather than microwave it? No. What is something that you won't compromise a microwave for?
I do the opposite.
I've done that in recent years. I usually start using the oven a lot more because it makes it so much crispier that I think it's worth it.
Yeah, a microwave chicken nugget compared to oven baked chicken nugget. night
microwave
and
chicken
day.
nuggets exist?
Yeah.
Where the hell have you
Alright.
been?
I have limits on the stuff that I'll buy for a microwave. Chicken nuggets, fuck no. This one time, my friend, when I first moved into my house,
A chicken nugget is like the shittiest form of food. How is that? You're like,
it is the quality for the microwave. But when I first moved in here, my oven was being delivered. It takes like 7 days or whatever. So I pretty much just lived on food that went in the microwave, right? And my friends came over, and one of my friends brought this fucking. It was just frozen. It was like a tray, right?
an
But like a
ice
paper
cube.
tray. No, it was like a paper tray of microwave chips. And I was like, bro, that's fucking disgusting.
yeah, that seems like something I would never put in the microwave. I would definitely
That
put
is
French fries in
awful.
the oven. Yeah.
Like, they came out and like, they were just awful. They had no taste to them whatsoever. So I have limits on where I'll go with stuff that I'll microwave. But if it's in the limit, then I'll use the microwave 100% of the time over the oven because I'm just fucking lazy.
I find that interesting.
I also don't care about my health like as much as I should do.
Wait, I missed. Did you say, do you buy chicken nuggets first of all, Bailey?
Yeah, but I get oven.
And you'll throw them in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. What about pizza? Have you ever had like a frozen pizza you throw in the microwave?
I have, but I buy ones for the oven because I just
Okay.
think they taste better.
I'd say, do you have bagel bites, like pizza bagels?
They exist, but I don't buy them.
Dude, I was talking to an Australian on Discord yesterday, and it got me thinking about the equator. So, like, if you're standing at the equator and you walk into the other hemisphere, does your body just like flip over, or what happens?
What?
The sad part about that was he had to preface it with I was talking to somebody. So you weren't even talking to an Australian yesterday, were you?
No, I was. That's what got me thinking. About it.
Oh God, I thought this was a bit. No, I'm not. Bailey, you take this one, dude.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, so
simple.
so
When
you're
you walk
standing at
across
the equator, yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you cross it, then you'll be upside down. So does your
You
body like flip over to be right side up again?
But that's assuming gravity is a two-dimensional plane.
I don't think we're smart enough to actually discuss what's going on. I don't think gravity has to do with it, and I'm just upset by the sheer idiocracy associated with the question. But Pound, in short, it's no.
In short, it's fucking stupid and you're cutting this out.
Yeah, editors, cut that out for sure, dude. Well, who were you talking to in Australia? Angela White?
This is the only Australian he
Can't
knows.
say that. What do you mean?
I like-
dude?
oh,
Lisa
guys,
Ann
I
is
like-
is a household name these days.
I say that I like boobs, and DC says I'm gonna get fucking canceled, and DC's
Well, nobody
like,
would have.
DC's the only person that lives in that entire
No,
continent.
no, no,
is
no, no, no,
Angela
no.
White.
Editor, this is one of those things that if you know, you know, and that's it. If you don't, you don't, and it's fine. But now that we made a big deal about it,
Oh, I didn't know, but I still found it sort of outrageous.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've got a stupid question that I asked in Bailey's Discord earlier this week, but I think it could be slightly interesting. I just have to phrase it not stupidly, which is the hard part.
Okay.
Aliens land outside of your front door. They say, you have to show us what food is. You're only allowed to bring them one food item to, like, represent food as a whole to this alien species. What do you bring them?
what's the driving catalyst here? To try to impress them, or try to like make them understand?
Not to
Most
impress
coherently
them.
what
So you're
food
not
is?
so you're not bringing them like the tastiest thing ever. But just so I guess I'll give my answer to see if it helps you. I said I would bring them
Yeah,
a
'cause
sandwich because I just feel like that's like a classic food item. You know, meat on bread. It just seems like across lots of different.
Wait, where did you come up with this question? For why do aliens have to land? Who thought of this? Was it you, Pound?
So I had not eaten a sandwich in like a long time. I don't know. It's not something I eat a lot. And my boss at work was telling me about this place next to my apartment that made the best sandwiches. And I got it. And I was like, because I don't go to Subway or Jimmy John's or anything often. I ate the sandwich, and I was like, that was a good sandwich, you know. I guess it gave me memories of my grandmother would always make me a little ham and cheese sandwich when I was like 3 years old, and cut the crust off and everything. So I guess I just have some nostalgic memories of my grandmother making me sandwiches, and I was like, you know what? Sandwiches that's just a classic food item. Like if somebody's starving and you hand them a sandwich, nobody's too picky that they're like, oh, I don't want a sandwich. It's just it's a true solid staple of food.
So, thinking about that, I would say, what is the most like globally liked food? I just find it very interesting, and it gives me insight to how your brain works. That you're like, oh, sandwiches. People like sandwiches. If aliens showed up and had to convince them what food was, like
that's how I was trying to. I couldn't figure out how to word the question, so that's how I got to the aliens things. It's just like if somebody had never seen Earth food before, what's just like a good? Because you wouldn't do like a steak because it's expensive and a lot of people don't eat steak often, so you couldn't do that. I guess you could do like rice.
Aliens are a little frugal.
Yeah. Or like you wouldn't do. I'm just saying like something that a lot of people have eaten before and is common across different cultures.
Okay, so here's the follow-up question to the alien question. An alien captures you as
aren't you supposed to answer it?
No, I don't know.
Pound's like fought really hard about this question. He's like, I want to bring this up on the podcast.
It's like what food? I'm confused. You're asking me like what food is the most food? Like.
No, that's
like,
okay.
It's like
look,
a weird
I'm just
question.
saying they put a gun to your head and they say, look, if you do not show us the coolest food ever right now, that is also accessible. That is also accessible to a large swath of people. I know I said that word wrong.
Wow, how can you get your voice that high, Bailey? That's crazy. Okay, listen to it. All right,
that's a fake Bailey, fucking laugh. That's not how he actually laughs.
No, that's how he was born with that laugh. He came out of the womb doing that laugh.
I came out the swath.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what that word is, to be honest with you. An alien captures you, has an alien gun to your head, and he says, bring me something and I better like it. I better like whatever you bring me or else I kill you. What is the one food you would bring that you think he would like?
That is a better question than Pounds.
But he's on a budget.
No budget.
But then that's just gonna be like a fillet. Like that's like kind of top of the line.
You think? Okay.
If I had to impress, if an alien stopped by and said, "Give me the most delicious thing," I would take them to a restaurant and get them a fillet.
Interesting.
I think.
What about you?
Yeah, I think my answer changes depend. Like, I don't know the alien's taste. Some people
I know,
fucking despise sweet food, right? To me, the most well-tasting thing on this planet is probably something sweet. But what if they fucking hate sweet food? Then what?
Well, they're not real. It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, well, what if they hypothetically don't like sweet food?
Then what would you give them then?
I would say somebody said chocolate. I think that's a great answer. There's not many people I've met in my life, and I've met one or two who flat out say, I don't like chocolate.
No, I disagree. I would say it's a pretty high percentage of people that don't like chocolate compared to other things.
Really? I'm going to agree with DC. If I had to say, if the question is, what is the most, like if you polled every single human on the planet.
Yeah.
And they tried every single food that exists, what would like score the...
This is taking a long time.
What would have
we've really gotten off track here.
What would score the highest as like the most commonly liked food? I would probably say chocolate. I feel like would have a good chance of winning that.
Or something bland and boring like rice.
Yeah. Something bland. Because people will be like, yeah, I like that, but they don't have to love it. Chocolate is something you either love or hate. No one's like, oh, I like chocolate.
Okay, well, it's weighted by how much you like it. So, like, loving it is like...
getting in the weeds.
Loving it is worth more than two people liking it.
Yeah, I don't fucking
know. You know what would you really do to fuck with them? You would bring them cocaine or something and, like, watch the alien, the alien just fucking explodes.
What if they love it? They're cocaine on their planet. That's all they eat. And they're just like, this is alien food.
Well, then you survived the invasion.
But they wanted human food. Oh, this question is so fucking nuanced.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, I'm going to pee real quick because I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I got to pee. 20 seconds.
He's not going to turn off the mic either. We're just going to hear him pissing.
Right, if we do hear him piss, I want you to cut this part and just, like, up the gain. My answer in Discord was like a joke. I said like a fucking whole cow or something, right? But the thought behind it was, well, cow, right? You have steak, beef, which is slightly different, and you have all the different parts of the cow, right? But also cows produce milk, and milk makes a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but that's cheating the question because a cow isn't a food.
Well, cows. Yeah, they are. Cows are food.
You get
DC,
food
you
from
back?
them.
Yeah, I'm back.
Are cows food? Yes or no?
Yeah,
yes or no?
cows
For the
are
context
Cows
of
are
this
food.
question, it's not because he's saying like because you get milk and steak. I'm like, you're going around the question.
No, cow is literally food.
Thank you.
Okay, but then
But
you
at
can't
that point-
have milk. That's not the cow.
But there's milk inside of the cow.
Okay,
I could take a bite out of the cow just standing in a pasture pound, and I'm eating beef.
the point of my question, the reason I had sandwich, I guess maybe you're helping me word the question better. A lot of people would fuck up cooking a steak, but it's hard to fuck up making a sandwich. That's part of what gives it its high ranking.
What if it's a steak sandwich?
Those are good.
But it's still easy to fuck up even.
Then you don't do the steak sandwich.
You've been nuanced!
Alright, let me share
All right, next topic.
the stupid story of my dad. Literally everything my dad does. He's done this
Are
even
there
since...
machetes in this story?
No. My dad has done this since before I was even born. He just overhypes everything he does. You know, they always say, like, follow your dreams and stuff, but he does that to a fault, where he thinks, like, he can't fail, and he's not objective about, like, realistic goals. Like, I would love this podcast to have, like, 100,000 subscribers, but in reality, a year from now, I hope we can hit, like, maybe 1,000 within a year or so subscribers, which I would be happy. I'm just happy talking to you guys, even if this doesn't grow at all. But the point is, I'm not, like, I didn't quit my job and go full-time into this, because I don't think that's realistic right now. But my dad used to have a band in the 80s, so this would have been 30 to 40 years ago was the last time he made a song. He just made his first ever song in 30 years, and he's just like hyping it up to me and my brother. He's like, yeah, this is gonna get a lot of play on the radio. This is gonna take off any second now. And that was like a year ago, and I've never heard a single person talk about the song or play it on the radio. Do you guys know any people in your lives who are just like, I guess kind of their ego is too high?
I feel like this is probably better equipped. You're old.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of people who have achieved anything in my life because I'm fucking young.
Any second, DC.
Well, you're asking me if there's any people who have big egos in my life.
Or just
You
like
can say
people who
Jenna.
like
She won't see.
they're like their goals are unrealistic.
Well, one friend comes to mind, but like he's achieved like small success, and I'm having a hard time deciphering like following your dreams and then falling into the category of like thinking too big of an ego. I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, here's a better example. I wanted to lead into it. Here's a better example of my dad thinking way too highly of himself. He invited me and my brother. I don't see my dad too often, maybe once every 2 months or so. He invited me and my brother out to lunch. We were sitting down eating, and he kind of starts whispering. He doesn't whisper, but he gets quieter. I'm starting a company, and I might need you guys to start working for me. You know, if you guys are looking for jobs or something, I think it could pay pretty well for you. I just want, in context, this is 2020. This is happening in 2020 with the little information I've given you. What do you think his company is going to be?
God.
There's
I just want to know what y'all are thinking.
He's starting a podcast.
A security company.
Good. This was his idea in the year 2020. He said, and before he would even tell us what
is
he
it going
was
to be
doing,
really outdated?
before he would even tell us what he was doing, he was like, make sure not to share this with any of your, don't go home and talk to your friends about this. I don't want somebody taking the idea and like starting their own thing before I get this
I'm
going.
onto something here.
I wanna create a website where people can upload their own videos.
You're close with how stupid of an idea this is. He wants to create an app where you can order food and somebody will deliver it to your house.
Well, I will take a little
God.
bit of the heat off him here because he was in a restaurant, right? There's inspiration, you know? It's like, he's probably sat there and he's like, what if I didn't have to see my two stupid fucking sons and I could just get this food to my house?
So he's talking to us. He's like, I remember back in the 80s, the restaurants around here would deliver to your house, like a pizza place or something, and they'd make so much money delivering stuff. Now nobody does that anymore. You can make serious bank doing this.
Does he just think they will just stop? They're like, nah.
It's just no delivery. Ever since Obama got elected, they just stopped delivering food.
Yeah, he's. I love how you said he leaned in and like whispered to you. He's like, I gotta accompany him.
Yeah, he started talking quieter, and he's like, don't.
That's the best. He was so proud of it.
He's like,
and
don't
he
tell
that he
anybody.
was really onto something.
He said, don't tell anybody you know about this because I don't want anyone else doing the idea.
Call him back and say, I've been working really hard. I created something. I call it DoorDash. And just send him the app and be like, I don't know. This is a rough draft. Tell me what you think. That's pretty funny. All right. I had something happen to me that was pretty funny.
Great way to start.
It is a good way to start.
I had something happen to me.
Oh, it wasn't. I experienced something funny just today. Actually,
it was the podcast.
It was on my way. It was on my way home. I picked up an energy drink, and I walked in, and it was a kid trying to get a vape, like a e-cigarette, and he was talking, asking questions about it, talking a lot, and then she says, all right, this is like $24 or whatever, and let me see your ID, and the kid just starts squirming. He goes, I don't have my ID, and she's like, okay, and he's like, it's in my wallet, and I don't have my wallet. Like, he immediately just got like pissed, and then she was like, okay, I just need the ID, and he's like, ugh. And he like starts walking around the store all pissed off, and he's like, you know what, I live a few blocks away, I'll just go home and get it. I was tempted to wait there and see if the kid came back, but I guarantee you that the kid was like, you have to be 21 in my state to buy tobacco,
that's
insane to me.
Thing.
That's ridiculous to me. But anyway, 21. The kid looked really young, so I get why she asked him. But have you guys ever, when you were a kid, been with a group of friends and they're like, yo, go get us cigars or something, and you had to be the one who walked in without an ID, underage, and try to buy anything like that?
I used to get away with alcohol a lot because I looked really old as like a 15-year-old. Not 15, but like 16. And like I get away. I've only been ID'd maybe like twice in my life. I don't know if I look old, but
what?
I know. Obviously the drinking age here is like 18, so it's a little bit different because you can tell the difference between 21 and 18-year-old. But even when I'm of age, I've only ever been ID'd like twice.
That's
maybe
insane,
this is not
dude.
strict here. You know,
I've been ID'd. I've been ID'd thousands of times. I look like I have a younger face, and I've just been ID'd. I smoked cigarettes for 10 years. I got ID'd like pretty much every time for the first like 5 years of that.
You know what I think helped? I think facial hair is really important.
It is. It really
because
is.
I think if like a cashier looks at you and like, oh, they got facial hair, they're probably old enough, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I couldn't grow shit, but I do have a mustache now. You guys want to hear something pretty fucking cool?
Yeah.
I have
actually no. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing we would do on the podcast.
It's such a You guys want to hear something cool? I got my ID. I got my driver's license when I was 16 years old, and I got it, and I looked at it immediately, right on the car ride home, and I saw that they put my birth date wrong by a year. They put me a year older than I was.
Oh.
I told my mom immediately, like just because I was like, I thought it was cool, or it was like shocking. I wasn't like reporting myself.
No.
And she goes, okay, we'll get that fixed. And it never came up again. And so when I was 17, it said I was 18. And when I was 20, it said I was 21. So I got to like...
That's how adding one works.
Yeah, for college or for United States...
You'll never guess what happens when he was 22.
Tune in next week. No, but I was the kid when I was 17, and all of my friends were like, I was the one who had to go buy them cigarettes or cigars or Plan B.
What is Plan B?
It's
if you
the morning after pill.
If you came in a girl, yeah.
Yep.
Last second.
Why do you have to say that, dude?
I didn't know how to describe it.
Well, DC did it perfectly.
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, I assumed it was what it was, but I don't want to miss any context.
Well, we have like 13-year-old kids watching. DC's gonna be like the morning after pill. They're gonna be like the morning after what? When you play too many video games.
The 13-year-old needs to hear it's when you come in a girl. Like that's worse than
it's important.
Them not knowing.
You know what? While you baby everyone, I'm telling them real fucking life stuff.
The fact that fucking tits decline and asses don't.
I got to go out for my 20th birthday, or as my 21st birthday. It was sweet. That's all I'm saying. Jesus.
Yeah, well, I got to do that on my 17th because my country's not full of fucking pussies.
I know, it's crazy, dude. And now you have to be 21. Is it still 18 in there in London?
England? For what?
Drinking.
Yeah, why would it change? It's like always.
It changed over here for us.
Yeah, well, fuck your country.
I know. It's 21 to smoke a cigar over here. To buy a cigar.
No, I can get behind that one. There's no benefits to smoking. Fuck smoking. Fuck the entire
I will say
industry of smoking.
that I do completely agree. Sometimes I go back and forth whether it should be banned or not, 'cause smoking is pretty fucked up with how addicting it is. But the logic they used to bump the age up to 21 made no fucking sense. So the age to buy cigarettes in the US was 18, and they said 90% of people who get to 21 without having bought cigarettes never become smokers. So if we make it 21, people will stop smoking. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because the legal age is 18, and somebody goes 3 years without ever smoking. Of course, they're probably not going to start smoking at that point.
I see what, I don't know, I kind of fall more on the other side of, like, I see what they were trying to get at.
But the point is, they're taking a population of people who can legally buy cigarettes, and then saying the ones that don't buy it, don't buy it. Like, that's all they were saying with that, like, statistic.
Statistic dumb, but, like...
No, I think you're overcomplicating. They're saying, like, if we move it to 21, there's a more likely chance that they will never smoke, end up never smoking.
Like, the statistic is dumb, but the policy isn't because of the statistic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and part of it is
I
that
get what you're
18,
saying,
yeah.
but also, like, why the fuck can 18-year-olds smoke and just, like, actively give themselves cancer? Why is that a thing?
18 is weird, because
If you think about that...
18-year-olds are in high school, so, like, 13-year-olds in high school can get their 18-year-old high schoolers to buy it for them, so really it should be, like, 19, because everyone's in college at that point, for the most part.
But at 18 in America, you're legally an adult, right?
Yeah.
So you have the choice to make whatever choices you want. You have the option to make whatever choice you want. And if I want to choose to smoke cigarettes, like, I'm 18 years old, I'm legally allowed. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, but, like, the problem with, like, saying once you're 18, you have access to everything, you assume that all of the population are informed and smart enough to make the correct decisions.
Well, then why not push it back? Why not push it back to be an adult? You have to be 21.
Not for or against that. I don't have any age where people become smart, but the general point I'm trying to get at is that when you allow freedoms like that, you assume that people will make the correct decision, but there's always going to be a percentage of the population that won't. So it doesn't fucking help.
My thing with why I kind of go back and forth to where we should possibly just ban cigarettes entirely is that the stuff they get away with would not apply to any other industry in the world. Like, if we found out that McDonald's, that their food has a addictive chemical in it, that if you stop eating it, you start, like, having headaches and shaking, and it also gives you cancer, that they would be shut down immediately. They wouldn't be allowed to serve food.
They literally do. It's MSG, and it will give you heart disease.
But not at the levels of cigarettes, though. Like,
and it's also not addictive.
If you ate a McDonald's cheeseburger 10 times a day, like you smoke a cigarette, you might become dependent on some of the chemicals. Nobody does that, though. Here's my thing. Why would you keep? So you guys are saying, get rid of cigarettes that gives you cancer. It's bad for you. How do you ban cigarettes and not ban alcohol?
Because alcohol has a social, well, not a social benefit, but alcohol has a benefit on you existing, right? You get drunk, right? You don't do
that's
anything.
That's not a benefit.
I'm not finished, right? Cigarettes do not. Okay, but also the way alcohol is processed is that your body deals with that a lot better than it deals with smoke in your lungs.
I think it's I might be wrong on this, but I think it's easier to chain smoke than it is drink like 10 beers or something. I might be wrong on that.
It's I don't know. It's tough because, like, why is a cigarette I get it. It kills so many people. It's really bad. It's a bad habit. But yeah, you can't ban something just because it's bad for you. Then we have to get rid of gambling. We have to get rid of like everything. Everything in moderation is okay. Right,
but cigarettes are inherently addictive. They have chemicals in them that make them addictive. Right, but coffee doesn't give you cancer. I know. I know. They give you cancer, right? They cost a lot of fucking money. And the thing that really pissed me off about cigarettes is, I don't know if it's the same in America, but here, it's definitely a legal requirement that on the packaging there has to be some level of gruesome image.
It's not here.
We don't have the images, but we have the wording about cancer.
Yeah, but the thing about the image is that they're actively telling you this has a % chance of happening to you if you continue to use the product. Name me another product that's allowed to exist, right? And it has to warn you what it can do to your body in such a gruesome manner. Like, just that is so fucked up that it's still allowed. And
well, then, dude, by that logic, they should have to put a fucking warning, gruesome picture on a Big Mac from McDonald's, dude. If you eat this, it will literally kill you. Like, how is that any different? If I just eat one Big Mac a week or I smoke one cigarette a week, like what? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Because the I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say, but again,
I know what you're trying to say. I'm playing devil's advocate. I agree with you on most of it.
It's addictive. And also, it's a lot easier to get cancer from a cigarette than whatever you get from eating fast food.
Well, dude, the number one killer in the world is heart disease, which is obesity. So you tell me
I don't have stats here. I'm sorry.
You tell me what is more deadly.
Cigarettes, by far. Fast food doesn't get you addicted to it.
How many people smoke? What percentage of the population smokes cigarettes, and what percent eats fast food?
That is not. That is not a comparison. You can't make that. Like if you're an adult, you've given your children fast food.
Regularly. I will say regularly.
I don't have the stats, but they're not the same.
Yeah. Okay, so
food sustains you. You live on food. If you could only eat McDonald's ever or eat nothing, you'd live longer by eating McDonald's.
You could live off alcohol. The sugar and alcohol, you could live off alcohol.
I don't know about that one.
No, I don't know about that one either.
I know it. I did a case study in college where I lived off alcohol for a year. So.
Wait, you did that?
No. I was gonna make up a lie that says, well, I see on Google right now that it says that. So.
I like how when we did the truth or lie last week, Bailey was like, I fingered a girl's butthole. I'm like, I know this is a lie. That's not possible. And then DC's like, I did a study in college where I only had alcohol for a whole year. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so I will say I hate government banning stuff. I think people should just make their own choices. My issue is when it comes to like I don't think the government should ban TVs or something because people can decide if they want to buy a TV or not. Like that's a decision that consumers get to make. And then you can apply this to fast food and stuff like that. People who smoke cigarettes, like people actively want to stop. Like they don't want to do it and they keep buying the product anyway. So that doesn't seem like a free market choice at that point. If somebody's actively trying to stop.
Have you ever seen my 600-pound life?
Yeah, it's the same with it. You can say the exact same thing about food. And
same exact thing. Yes.
Which maybe we need to do something about that. I don't know how you do it in like a non-authoritarian way, but if somebody actively is saying, I hate being 600 pounds, I want to lose weight, and they keep going to McDonald's and buying like 3,000 calories of food, there seems to be some kind of issue if you keep buying something that you don't want.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge problem.
Also, when these shows come out, right, people often, maybe this is just in my experience, but people often blame the overweight people for continuing to buy the food, but nobody ever blames people for buying cigarettes, even though they want to stop. I think that says a lot about the addictive properties. I've never heard that.
Oh, dude, I smoked cigarettes for 10 years and I got
But nobody says just stop.
All the time. Oh, yeah, all the time.
Okay, so I'll agree with Bailey that I think there's definitely a lot of people understand that like cigarettes and alcohol are addictive because they're drug. People understand that. People don't understand how addictive food can be. So if someone on one of those shows and somebody's 600 pounds and they keep eating shitty food, people are like, oh, they have no willpower. But if somebody's like a cocaine addict and they have cocaine in their house and have a relapse, nobody's like, oh, what a piece of shit for not having self-control. People understand cocaine is chemically addictive, and there's more of a stigma around food where people don't understand how addictive it can be.
Yeah,
I would definitely admit that I'm not informed enough to argue for or against fast food, but I think that doesn't invalidate claims made about cigarettes. They still fucking suck ass.
They do, yeah.
And suck tits. That's the problem.
Just imagine if every McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King across the world was replaced with a salad bar with grilled chicken, bro. How much better off would we be as humans? We'd be healthier, more productive. Than if they served you a salad and a green tea as opposed to French fries, double cheeseburger with bacon, mayonnaise. It's just crazy. It's
there's
crazy.
a reason it's so popular though.
That's because it's good. It's bad for you. It's really good tasting.
Yeah.
That's why. So cigarettes are the same way. People who smoke them, they enjoy it. It's relaxing. It calms their nerves. But we won't get into it because there's so much science here.
I think 80% of people I know who've smoked do it
Hate
socially. No, I think they do it because of social pressures more than that they actually enjoy it.
That is the sole reason I started drinking. Was I turned 21. For that entire year, I bought alcohol like twice. I just didn't like drinking at all. And then I eventually just like all my friends would go like drink places. A lot of the shows I would watch would have characters like drinking in them. I guess it's just like a thing people do. And so I eventually started drinking a lot more. If I had never seen another person drink, I don't think I would have ever done it because it tasted like shit. I didn't like it for a long time until I finally got used to it. And they've done studies on that as well at colleges where they, I forget what the exact college was, but like the incoming freshmen, they had a little like panel sort of. They said at the panel, like 90% of, because when you think of college, you think of like big parties and like binge drinking and stuff. But they showed like 90% of the students never actually binge drink during college. It's just like a 10% that go party all the time that you see. And they found that the number of kids drinking actually dropped dramatically because a lot of people were drinking solely because they thought that's what college is. I have to go party and stuff. And once they found out there were actually a lot of people just staying home and not going like wild, they felt more comfortable doing it themselves because there wasn't that peer pressure to do it.
Bro, in what world? I'm thinking back to my college dorm, my freshman year. And if you're saying that only 10% of my floor drank and partied, it's just a flat out lie.
You were in the drinking floor.
No, I wasn't. All of my, like, dude, everywhere. I went to Penn State, which is a big party school. I would say.
Maybe there's your issue.
Well, it's like a good school,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is you're looking at people who live in dorms. There are a lot of students who live like with their parents or something, and they're not like going out to these parties all the time. Because you don't see the people not at the parties because they're not at the parties.
But I'm just thinking
like, everybody I saw at the party was drinking.
No. Well, my dorm isn't a party. It's student housing. I'm basing it off of that. Where if you would, yeah, sure, Pound. Are these people taking into the affect the numbers of like online students and shit? Like but like if you take about the percentage of on-campus living, I would not say that it's a 90-10 split.
Opposed to on-campus dead.
Okay, the point.
Living on campus or living off campus.
The point of the story was not whether it's 90-10 or 80-20 or 70-30. Just the general point was that people were peer pressured into drinking more because they thought that's what everyone did. And once they found out that some people didn't enjoy doing it, they felt more comfortable backing off.
Yes, no question,
sure.
agreed.
I
but
get
like,
that.
drinking doesn't have like that big of a health disadvantage, in my opinion.
Oh, it does. I disagree with that.
There is the topic of secondhand smoke. So, like, you know, if you drink, it doesn't hurt the person next to you.
Bailey grew up. Didn't your parents smoke, Bailey?
Yeah, both of them.
So you have an extra sore spot for it. That's like Jenna. Jenna's mom smoked, and she, was always in the back of the car when her mom had a cigarette with the window down, and she just fucking hates it.
Right, but I also grew up for 20 years with both of them smoking all the time. Both of them smoking like 10, 20 a day. I don't know exactly how many, but it's in that range. And both of them always complaining about how fucking expensive they were and how much they wanted to quit.
Right.
That is drilled into me that it's fucking stupid. But anyway, what I was moving on from fucking cigarettes, we're now on to alcohol. Yeah, the health benefits from alcohol are a lot less significant because, well, maybe DC, right? You said you went to college and you drank a lot because, you're in college, parties and shit. Name me a health disadvantage that you've seen in yourself. I know it's not statistical evidence, but I don't have stats on me, so...
From when I was drinking? Or when I was in college?
Short term, medium term, long term, anything that you've experienced. Because I personally also drink, but I've never... I couldn't tell you any way that it's affected me health-wise.
Well, the damage is done, like when I was drinking in college, which was like extensive binge drinking.
Yes.
You can't Like you feel worse, like obviously hangovers and everything. You know you physically feel worse, but the damage is being done internally to organs that you can't get a read on them in real time. Like I don't know how fucked my liver is from all the drinking I did. I'm going to have to find that out down the road.
Right, but that's the point.
So like the short-term effects aren't bad, but long-term is binge drinking, or if you become, heaven forbid, an alcoholic, bro, you're almost worse off than somebody who smokes for 20 years.
Maybe
like,
I'm
your
ignorant.
body's...
If your liver was damaged to a very large extent, you being like, I don't know about it, probably means that it isn't damaged to a very large extent. Because your body has tells when stuff is going wrong to tell you that you need to see to it.
But I'm saying in life, your liver doesn't fail you usually until later in life because of what you did in your younger life. Same with cigarettes, right? You can smoke for 10 years and not have cancer, but then after 15 years later in life, after the damage is done, then you get the issue.
For whatever reason, that sounded incredibly patriotic to me. You were just like, in life, your liver doesn't fail you. I was like, yeah.
I wish I would have prepared for this because I love stats and I hate using any evidence that isn't statistical because it's stupid. But
I agree. But Bailey, I will say, look at somebody who is dependent and addicted to alcohol, and look who somebody's addicted and dependent on cigarettes. Who's worse off in your mind?
Look at the numbers of people who are addicted to alcohol and the numbers of people who are addicted to cigarettes.
I'm sure it's pretty.
That's probably like
similar.
1 to 100. No way.
Dude, you know how many alcoholics there are in the world? And I'm not even talking about like raging alcoholics where they're drinking like 4 bottles of whiskey a night. Somebody who just has 3 or 4 glasses of wine every night, that's an alcoholic. Or somebody who drinks 8 beers a night on the weekend, it's called binge drinking, and you can be defined as an alcoholic. So we can't get an accurate read on it.
Right, but the key read for me is you have 1 cigarette, you're more likely to become addicted for life than if you have even, 10 shots in a night. You're not going to then become addicted, probably going to die, but you're not then going to become addicted for the rest of your life at the same rate, whereas you smoke 1 cigarette.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of
so the numbers have to be way higher. Because I'd imagine the people who have tried to smoke and the people who have tried to drink are pretty similar, but the addiction rates are so much higher on cigarettes. Probably about 1 to 100.
On to porn.
Hold on. The National Institute of Health, real quick before we move on.
No, this isn't fair.
No. It's in chat. It's somebody pasted it. I didn't look anything up. It just says people hospitalized with alcohol use disorder have an average life expectancy of 47 to 53 years for men and 50 to 58 for women, and die 24 to 28 years earlier than people in the general population. 24 to 28 years knocked off your life if you have alcohol use disorder.
Right, but what is, again, we can't go into this, but what is...
Bro, I'll take my chances with smoking...
Right?
Exactly. I'll take my chances with the goddamn cigarettes.
No fucking way. No,
I don't know.
Fuck off. This is me versus DC. I'm going to make a fucking rant video on DC. Yep, I'm going to fucking do you out. We're going to have fucking internet beef. Fuck you, DC. Fuck you.
Okay.
All right, we can move on for now. We'll come back to it later.
We'll go back to it off-air, DC.
Yeah.
I found the most bizarre and niche porn subreddit of all time this morning. The subreddit's called Hot Girls Judging You. And it is just pictures.
Inhale.
It is just pictures.
So disappointed.
It is pictures of just normal pictures of girls. And people are adding, titles to them. One of the number 8 top post of all time. This girl with her hands on her hips. And she's giving, her head is crooked slightly. She's giving you, a look. And the title is called, You're Not Funny. And that's the whole post. And people are and then there's another one where it's just a girl sitting on her bed and with, her hand on her cheek. And she says, the title is, What were you saying? I wasn't listening. I was too busy judging you. Who is getting off to this?
What's the point? Oh, is that the point of this subreddit to turn people on?
Yeah, people there's there's this one. It's just a girl taking a selfie in a mirror, and the title is "I don't like you."
Yeah, the top one of all time looks a little bit like Jenna.
The part that wait, you have access to it?
Wait, it's online.
Well, I'm saying, you found it?
Well, he just told me the name of it.
Oh, I don't know how fucking Reddit works, but the real problem is the rats like you guys who find these subreddits.
I haven't. I've just looked it up because Pound brought it up.
Yeah, sure. It's bookmarked on your Chrome.
But yeah, there are people who just get off to, apparently somebody, looked at this picture of this girl pretending that she said he wasn't funny, and he just like fucking busted a load to being like made fun of.
That made me think of like a would you rather question. Okay. Would you rather be like not sexually attracted to anything, or be like heavily sexually attracted to like doorknobs or something like that? So commonplace.
That's so easy. that is so immensely easy.
Why?
What are you?
I'm asking you. You'd rather have no sex drive at all?
Yes.
Would you rather be asexual?
I'd rather get charged up by doorknobs.
Fam, I can't like open my fucking living room door and just immediately get a boner. Like that is not any viable way to live.
But here's the thing. You can, doorknobs might get you off, but you also can like have sex with your partner. If you have no drive at all,
I can still have sex with her.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like not enjoyable. Like, at least when you're, like, attracted to doorknobs, you could, like, put a doorknob shape over her head and be like, yeah, I'm into this.
I think a better question would be...
Put a doorknob shape over her head and not just, like, a doorknob?
I was going to say you could put, like, a doorknob costume on her, but those don't exist.
No, I just want to say, to anyone listening to this podcast, the same man that brought you the question of would you rather be attracted to doorknobs or nothing is the same man who was defending cigarettes. Case closed.
Oh God.
What if you saw a doorknob and the doorknob was like, I'm judging you, and you're like, oh.
And then Pound would get off to that. So Bailey wouldn't be charged at all. I'd be humping the door, and then Pound would be on some subreddit being like, doorknob.
I think a better question is, would you rather be attracted to one like totally random object, right, like doorknobs, or nothing ever at all?
Yes, that's the question.
Well, you have to give me a random object so I can answer it.
He did.
Well, doorknobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going nothing then. I wanted a reroll. I want something better.
Okay, I'll reroll.
Right, what about
USB chargers? Like the act
USB?
of the act of seeing it plugged in.
I get it. Yeah, I'm going with the chargers. That's actually better.
Literally anytime you see somebody plug in a charger, you have to leave the room.
Yeah, that's fine. I can just look away.
You're just like blushing.
I just like aggressively swivel my head. They're like, bro, is something wrong?
All right, that's yeah, dude. It would just be. I just want to Pound. What about you? What's your answer?
I'd probably rather not be attracted. I guess it depends, like how attracted I am to like. It makes me like non-functionable when I see it.
No, just like normal level of. If you see like a girl, right? Exactly, that's your average. Exactly. Hot girl is your highest. Really, a girl's your lowest. It can range depending on how attractive the doorknob.
I hate that I know about this, but I'm thinking about Pound, that Reddit post with Pokemon's butts or whatever, and he's like, I'm exploding on the bus.
Yeah. That's another subreddit I followed recently. It's called, I might be getting it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's called R Wonder Woman Armpit.
Oh, no.
And there's only one person who posted a subreddit, and it's just this one guy taking screenshots of Wonder Woman with her, where you can see her armpit. And he just posted, like, there's like 200 posts.
Wow. Yeah, there's nooks and crannies all over the internet with weird.
Because it's not even an armpit fetish. Exists. It's Wonder Woman armpit. Like, it's so granular.
Like, it's literally just whenever her arms exist.
Yeah.
Can we overlay some images on screen, please?
No, I don't know if you guys have any like just bizarre stories from work. I know DC just had his first week at work, so maybe he had some. But back when I used to work at Jimmy John's, this may come as a shock to you, but we have bathrooms there, right? So customers can like use the restroom if they need to. I was at the counter, and this lady walks in holding just like a giant pile of clothes. I'm like, who walks in? I've never seen somebody just carry clothes into a Jimmy John's. And she walks by me and looks at me, and she goes, I need to get ready for work. And she just goes into the restroom, and I was like, does she work here? I'm like, I don't think she does. And like 30 minutes later, like not a reasonable amount of time, like 30 minutes later, she comes out the bathroom holding her old clothes, and as she's wearing like a Walmart uniform, she's like, thanks, and she just leaves. And that was the extent of her time at the store.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
The fact that Walmart probably has bathrooms.
Yeah, right. Except they probably don't allow. It's probably like against their policy to say like you can change for work in our bathroom.
So they not have buy like a drink or something.
Oh, I gotcha.
I guess
I like how that's what you found weird.
No, this is what I found weird.
I used to go to Starbucks all the time just to use the bathroom.
This is what I found weird. If she came in and said, "Can I use your restroom to get changed for work?" I guess I would be like weirded for a second because I'd never been asked it before, but I would say, "Yeah, go ahead." It was the fact that,
confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, that she walked in. She did not ask. She just came in and said, "I need to get ready for work," and walked right as if it was her restroom. She owned the place.
She did it with chest, bro.
Yeah.
She did it with chest.
She threw you off.
All I wanted her to do was ask me. I would have been fine with it. It was just it just threw me off so much.
If she would have asked you could have asked if you're allowed to watch.
Exactly. I did not want to.
What?
That was the kind of person that walked in.
You can't say that. It is!
There's nothing wrong with saying an ugly person walked into Jimmy John's.
No, but okay, continue.
I don't know if you guys saw this, and this is, I guess, like, the cigarette thing was kind of political, but, and this is not super political, it's just kind of stupid.
The cigarette thing shouldn't be political, it should be unanimous.
Thanks, Bailey. A congressman, a U.S. congressman, who is, I believe he's also maybe a pastor. He was they have like a little prayer at the beginning, and it's not like a Christian prayer or anything. It's still kind of weird because it's to like a general God. They just say it's kind of like it's for all faiths are included. They just have like a little prayer at the start. The guy, this is how he ends it. It's like a 3-minute prayer. So he goes, "Amen" and "A women." He just walks off as if he just did not do. He just walks off as is completely normal. People are like that word existed before the English language. It has nothing to do.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, so are we supposed to not say semen anymore? We're supposed to say sea women? Like,
yeah, it's a Hebrew word that has nothing to.
It's just the word. Yeah.
He thought he was so fucking clever. He's just like amen and a women. I wanted to get Bailey. What are your thoughts on that? Like, is that? I mean, that's just kind of like
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
right. But my initial reaction would be, was he making a joke?
No,
it's like a really shit joke.
No, he was deadpan serious.
But like maybe the deadpan is part of it, right?
I guarantee you it was not. He thought he was being inclusive.
What about all of the non-binary genders?
Exactly. So he's still being like
non-binary.
He's still being like transphobic when he said it.
It's pretty funny. But then like, see, now I'm just thinking it was a joke because I find it funny.
No, the sad part is it wasn't a joke.
I just say that is America.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no way that something in Britain stupid has not happened like that.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't really keep up with British politics. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I keep telling people, I'm like, yeah, I don't. There's no reason to follow politics because like they're gonna vote the same, regardless of whether I know what's going on. They're still gonna all vote the same way and stuff. But then like I the last year I've gotten super caught up into it. I think it's such a because I used to spend like I remember in 2016 I'd spend like 8 hours a day like browsing political forums and stuff. It's just such a one. It just gets you so. Like I was doing other stuff. It wasn't.
No, it was solidly 8 hours every single day.
But no, I would spend while I was doing other stuff. I'd be like reading political stuff. It's all you do is like get angry. You don't like It's not like I didn't like run for office or anything. I just got mad. I'm like, how dare these politicians do this? I accomplished nothing. It was such a waste of time, and it just like makes you go through your day angry. So I like you, Bailey. I should lay off of even like reading about this shit.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about politics in general. I'm very, very negative about it. I don't matter. My opinion doesn't fucking matter. Why should I waste my time forming an opinion that doesn't fucking matter?
DC?
Thank you for the support, guys.
No, yeah. I go back and forth on that because it's like I don't vote because I was like, oh, like my vote doesn't matter. I don't care about either side, but like I don't know. It does make a difference. Like if you were informed and you voted, it would. If everybody was informed and voted, it would maybe make a big difference. But no, I'm with you. I don't watch politics or get myself involved in what's going on because of just how toxic it's been. And it's just like people pick a side, and it's just like it's people will like judge you based on what side you fall on these days, and it's just not something I
your guys'
enjoy being a
politics
part
is
of.
fucking nuts.
It's insane, dude. It's insane.
That like whole you're either one side or the other. I don't really think it's a thing here. It is a tiny bit, but it's nowhere near what it is in America. Like, that is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's just awful. It's so toxic here.
That is
with this whole Trump election going on.
That is a big issue I have with about the one side or the other. And this is something
what if
somebody
I
else
don't
brought
like
up.
either side?
Yeah, so
That's
your
where
opinion
that's where I fall.
your opinion on like corporate tax rates has nothing to do with whether you think abortion is moral or not.
Yeah.
And yet if you ask somebody their opinion on corporate tax rates, you have a very likely chance of knowing what their opinion on abortion is, which doesn't make sense because those two things shouldn't be related.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's my issue is that if somebody's like, everyone's like, oh, you're entitled to your own opinion. Like, if you say like, oh, I don't care what your opinion on abortion is. I don't care what your opinion on global warming. Like, you're allowed to have your own opinion. But then, on the whole, if you say, like, I support government healthcare, which is a left-leaning position, people are like, okay, cool, you're awesome. And they're like, and I also think abortion should be legal. They're like, fuck yeah. They're like, and I think we should lower corporate tax rates, which is a right-leaning position. Then all of a sudden, they act like you have no left-leaning positions at all. They act like you're 100% like a Republican, even though you agree with them on every other topic. And then the same thing for the other side. If you go to the Republican, you're like, okay, fine, I'll be a Republican. Then they look at all the things you disagree with, and they don't care that you have the corporate tax rate opinion. They're like, fuck you for thinking abortion should be allowed. And so then both sides don't allow you to be on their part unless you have every single opinion that they have pre-selected for you.
But then you pretty much have to vote for one of them anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
even though you're being rejected from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But then, like, there's no real better way to do it. Like, you can't run, like, a national vote on every single policy and issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's something that I'm not qualified to dictate, but...
Yeah, politics is one of the topics that I don't talk about, not just because I don't like it. I just am not informed, and I have no place to say anything really.
It makes me like it's really crazy to me that some people like their full-time job or whatever, their full-time income is because they have like they basically express political views, right? They spend so much time like researching and having stats and stuff and debating. And like they're not even in politics, not part of any party. They're just like a commentator. That is nuts to me. You are being paid to have an opinion about the world.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And another thing that pisses me off is if you agree, if you're like right leaning on some sides and left leaning on some positions, then people will call you like a centrist, even if you have no like centrist views whatsoever. A kind of comparison is if I said I like hot pizza and I like cold ice cream, and someone's like, "Oh, you like room temperature things." It's like they don't average out. I have views on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here, just to get off the political topic, what do you guys think about cold pizza?
I'm fine with it. I think it's a better morning food
than heating the piece of pizza up.
No, keeping it cold. I think it's disgusting if you reheat it.
Oh, I always reheat.
I think cold pizza is like one of the worst things you can have.
How do you reheat it, Pound?
I used to microwave it Bailey style, but now I either put it in the oven, or if it's just like one or two slices, I'll throw it on a skillet.
Right. And maybe that's where my issue is.
Skillet.
Maybe I was microwaving the pizza and that's what makes it.
No, it's not too much better. Yeah.
When you reheat pizza in the microwave, you have to find the perfect sweet spot of where the cheese is melted and where the bread doesn't turn to cardboard 7 seconds after you pull it out.
But
because if you just throw it in there for like a minute, if you put it in there for a minute, it's going to be very hot, but the bread will become so chewy you won't even be able to bite it, and it is wasted. I don't know. I've had a lot of experience. And when I was in high school, I used to eat pizza for breakfast almost every morning for like 3 years. We would buy these pizzas from Sam's Club or Costco, if you guys know what those are.
Costco?
I would get one of those on Sunday. I would rip it up.
Pizzas?
No, this was like Costco
makes their own pizzas, and they're very good.
Yeah. They're insanely good. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. And it's just a humongous pizza. Right. And I would grab 2 or 3 slices before school on the way to the bus, and I would eat that. I would microwave it.
It's legitimate, Bailey. It is half the price of like a Domino's or something. Yeah. It tastes better, and it's twice the size. Like, it's gigantic.
Twice as big. Mm-hmm. It's insane. If I had to bring one food to an alien, it would be a Costco pizza.
What would you put on an alien pizza for an alien?
My best pizza, cheese pizza. Just plain pizza. Oh, that's the best.
So dead.
That's the best pizza.
It's so fucking dead, man. This is like the fucking vanilla ice cream thing all over again.
Pepperoni has to be the most popular kind of pizza, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
By far.
No. Cheese pizza is the most popular.
Outside of cheese.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I wouldn't. Nah.
Okay, so it
depends on the age.
You have.
I don't like pepperoni.
You have crust, sauce, and cheese on the pizza already, and you poll everyone and say, what topping goes next? Most people would say pepperoni. Yeah. That's just like the iconic pizza topping.
I would go chicken. I'm a big chicken fan.
What?
Yeah.
It's good. It's not a very common thing over here.
I've really got, in the last 2 years, I've really enjoyed a ham on pizza.
Yeah, ham is very good too.
Same animal.
Pineapple and ham. Yeah. Pineapple and ham.
Also, really barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce, very banging.
So you like barbecue chicken pizza is what you're saying?
Yeah, but it depends on the other toppings, right? You can't go like barbecue and pepperoni. That doesn't work.
No, you go barbecue sauce, grilled chicken, red onion. Yeah.
Not onion.
I love pesto for the sauce.
I've never tried it. I will give it a go if it's an available option.
But yeah, no, pizza is. And somebody also asked me. They said, "What's one food that you could eat?" Like, pizza is something I'm always in the mood for. I'm never like, I can't eat a piece of pizza right now.
Yeah, pizza and burgers. I could eat that every day.
What if pizza was the most globally agreed upon liked food?
It might. Does anyone know how popular pizza is in like Asian countries? I know it's popular in Europe and America. Is it eaten?
Sorry, we're just like cutting out Africa.
I was about to start naming other places, but Asia's the most populous part, so that's why they came first.
Yeah. I googled just now most popular food.
Yeah,
in the world.
I can fucking hear it. DC.
It's gonna be rice.
The first one is pizza.
Really?
Now I didn't click on anything. Yeah. This was just the first thing that came.
It was the link goes to pizza.com. I don't know if it's biased.
That is a very unbiased source.
Yeah, that's not where it goes. But yeah. Yeah, pizza's great, dude. Pizza is great.
Pound brings up his own counter-argument that says sandwiches are the most popular from sandwiches.org.
Yeah. Sandwiches.gov.
Would you give this bomb.com?
I was thinking the same thing.
It's an
but we can't say that on. I know.
Okay, I have a topic that I want to be very comedic and joking, but also serious.
Those two don't work.
They'll work for this topic as long as you guys don't suck. So, okay, I brought this up last episode, but we didn't really get into it. Remember the story of the guy who was looking at child porn in AT&T for like 4 hours?
Yes.
So the mugshot of him, somebody in the comments said, "How come pedophiles always look like pedophiles?" And
is this going back to like how we started the conversation before the podcast?
Maybe, but I think it's a genuinely interesting question. You never see some guy who's like super hot and like women are all over him, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, ladies, I fuck children." Like you never see somebody like that. It's always people who like don't get laid by other methods. So, do you think people are naturally born pedophiles, or do you think that they're just kind of like they run? Look, I said there's a serious side to this. Do you think they kind of run out of options, and from like a depression standpoint of like nobody being attracted to them, that they kind of like morph into that and just like being attracted to someone who they can take advantage of?
I'm sorry, would you like to rephrase the first option?
Okay, so do you think you are born like, you know, how you're born, you know, people are born straight and stuff. Do you think people are born naturally being pedophiles, or do you think that like over the course of their life they're like certain
You're asking the age-old question. It's a psychological issue of nature versus nurture. It's same with serial killers. They ask that question a lot. Is somebody born a serial killer, or is it because of the way they were brought up, the environment they and the experiences that they went through that they were molded into one or more likely to become one of those. And I think it's a mixture, but heavily based off of experience, nurture rather than nature of somebody who becomes a pedophile. I think there's definitely something off in their DNA when they're born that is probably going to enable somebody to become a pedophile. But does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the correct answer to all of these questions, so you mentioned serial killers and stuff, I think the correct answer is always that it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's always all going to be nature or always all going to be nurture, right? I think there's a little part of you which you're born with, which then takes you down this path where you're then exposed to things which then furthers you down the path, right?
Right. I mean, there's serial killers, prolific serial killers who had the picture perfect life, right? And they weren't abused. They had a loving family, and then they just grew up to be a murderer. And yeah, that one would lean way more towards nature, right? They were born with this terrible fucking habit in them, as opposed to somebody like, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer or whoever it was that had a really bad childhood, was beat by his stepdad or whatever it was. I don't know if it's Dahmer, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know, like, Jeffrey Dahmer
it's a mixture
was
of both,
cannibal.
and then there's people who, like, there are those outliers on each side.
But do you think? I'm just saying, like, is there anyone who has like adult women just like throwing themselves at a guy wanting to fuck him, and he still is like, nope, not attracted to grown people?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Have you really come onto the podcast and just been like, pedophiles are fucking virgins, man?
I think it's an important question. You know?
No, I'm just mocking Pound's like thought process here. Yeah. He like brings up this point on the podcast, and all he's saying is pedophiles are pretty much just virgins.
No, he's saying.
All right, DC, I was trying to be funny. All right, it wasn't a serious point.
I didn't.
But yes, what I'm saying is, you never see a pedophile that's like
right,
like super hot
back to
with options.
Your first question was like, why? I don't know if this is what you're trying to get up here. Like, why do pedophiles always look like pedophiles? Yeah. And it's like, I'm trying to think. I don't know the exact answer, but if you think about, like, if you have those weird thoughts and inclinations, you're probably all of this is hypothetical. You're probably weirder in general, like in more aspects of life than just your sexual orientation. And so that leads, like, once you make a left down this road and start going down this road of like, I like weirder things, then you don't care about how you look. You don't interact with people. You don't have as many friends. You know what I'm saying? You just become weirder and weirder. I don't know if that's true, but that's my thought.
Yeah, so I guess what I was trying to say was that I feel like people become pedophiles due to like a lack of other options. Like, sure, like if you took like these people on How to Catch a Predator that are like trying to meet up with these like 10-year-old girls on the internet, if you just sent like a hooker to their place and was like, hey, fuck me, would they be like, oh yeah, this child thing was a stupid idea, let me fuck her?
I think question. Like maybe immediately after. Yes, but I think if they then went another month without getting a constant supply of hookers, then maybe they'd start to be like, back to the kids.
I think, yeah, exactly. You can't, if they're truly like sexually attracted to the kids, like I am to doorknobs, like you can't.
Oh, I thought you were going to stop. I am. I was so confused.
No, like you can't, like it's smoking. People want to quit, but they can't. It's that kind of thing. It's part of their brain chemistry.
A lot of pedophiles don't show remorse.
It's the question. Can you help what you're attracted to, or is that just hardwired in you?
I think it is a nature and nurture question again. I think there's definitely two sides to it. How weighted that is, I don't know. But I think the suggestion is that sexuality is very much so nature, right? You're born, this is how you are. I think there's probably some nurture in there, right? I don't know what the weight is, but I think with everything, you can have it trained in or out of you, especially when you're younger, because that's when you're most susceptible to that stuff. I think it definitely can be trained in and out. But it's hard to recognize a pedophile when they're a child, right? So maybe
could you imagine if like your 4-year-old son came home and said like he had like a little girlfriend, like another girl in the preschool. He's like, yeah, she's my girlfriend. And you're like, report him to the police. You're like, keep an eye on him.
He's dating 4-year-olds, the fucking pedophile.
Now, just to be clear, I'm not defending pedophiles. I think there's a lot of choice. Well, somebody in the chat said I'm out here defending them, and that's not true because there are a lot of those To Catch a Predator's people, right? Like they know what they're doing. They like the devious acts, and they're kind of sick in a different way. So I'm not defending it, but I think there's definitely some people that have thoughts that they're hardwired with, and they wish it was never a part of them, and they have to live with it every day.
I'm with you, but the thing that, so I'm totally with you on that. Sometimes I'm like, this is, again, I'm not defending pedophiles, but sometimes I'm like, that must really suck if you know it's horribly wrong to fuck a child, but you can't help it, you know? Yeah. There's that side of me, but the way I always get around my own sympathy is as soon as you act on it, you've chosen to do that, right?
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with having the thought. Well, there's something wrong with you for having the thought, but you shouldn't be punished for having a thought.
You couldn't help that thought from coming into your brain.
So the problem is, as soon as you act, disgusting, vile human being. But for having the thoughts, I think there's probably, is rehab the right word? You know where I'm going with this, though, right? There's probably some sort of rehab for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a rehab for everything these days.
Except cigarettes.
Yeah,
Except cigarette rehab. That's so true.
So I'll say this.
That's pretty funny.
I get why people made the argument, because it's a good base argument, but when you think about it, it's kind of stupid. When they were talking, because we legalized gay marriage in like 2014, I want to say, in America, around that time. So it was pretty recent. A lot of the things they were saying for like why you should legalize gay marriage is that people said, like, you know, you're born gay, you don't choose it. The argument doesn't really make sense, because like if you could choose to be gay, like that doesn't mean you should ban gay marriage because it's a choice. Like that would still be a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you get what I'm saying? Or I don't know if I worded it wrongly.
I zoned out. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Bailey. Basically, what I'm saying is people are saying like you shouldn't discriminate against gay people because it's not a choice. You're just born gay, and it's like, well, even if they could choose to like date somebody that's the same sex as them, like you still shouldn't like be a dick to them. Like that's not a good reasoning for it.
Yes, agreed. It wasn't worth me tuning back in for, but agreed.
Thanks.
All right, what's next? What's on the agenda? Do we have a segment Pound has to do?
Yes, we do, but I'm waiting to the end.
Okay.
I'm waiting till you two have finished all of your topics, and then I swoop in, and I'm the finisher. And then we go to the outro song, and it's a good time.
Yeah, as Amy said, I get why it's a good base argument for somebody who's like completely against it. Like if somebody's like completely against gay marriage, they hate it. It's a good starting argument to say like, yeah, they can't control it. They're just born that way. That's a good way to get somebody onto your side. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like a shitty argument because, you know, even if it was a choice, you would still treat them the same. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things. I see where you're coming from. Let's go ahead and wrap things up with Bailey doing his thing.
I hate that I have to intro it because I don't know how to fucking intro it. But if you're new to the podcast,
meanwhile, 2 hours ago, Bailey's like, "Just fucking sing, DC. How hard can it be?"
No, that's not what I said. But yeah, if you didn't watch the podcast last week or didn't watch the YouTube version because we didn't actually get to do this on Twitch, we added a little segment which was stolen from another podcast. Essentially, one of us tells a story and the other two have to figure out whether it is a complete lie or a complete truth. And this week is Lorna Pound's turn.
I was hoping for something a little more epic. I mean, yeah.
What do you want me to do?
It's kind of like if I went to like an award ceremony for being the best podcaster, and Bailey was like, coming up, Lorna Pound, and you just like fart into the microphone. And you're like, yeah, come in on that.
No, it'd be me being like, yeah, Lorna Pound does like this. If you're new to the award show, there's this new thing called podcasts, and the winner of the best podcast 2021, Lorna Pound. And
all right, it. DC, no give me a little strum to get
See, I can't do this. What do you want me to do?
I want you to go like, in a world where stories are sometimes real and sometimes fake.
I think you should do your own intro. Your voice is too good for that.
In the year 5050, it's 3,029 years past the current year. The only currency left in America is telling stories. If they're real, you can eat for the day. And if they're fake, you can also eat for the day if you convince them that it is real. the only way to die is by telling fake stories that they know are fake or something, because I don't fully have the rules in front of me.
No. Yeah, right. So if you're telling a real story, you have to make us believe that it's fake. If you're telling a fake story, you have to make us believe that it's real.
Okay, so I just have to get y'all to guess wrong. So if it's...
Yes.
But
you can't make anything up if it's real. It has to be complete truth. And if it's completely false, you can't use another story that is true and, like, change 1 second.
Okay.
It has to be completely made up or completely real.
That's tough.
Okay,
Well,
so...
fuck you.
So once a Saturday, I have this podcast that I do on Twitch. And it's with just like the 2 hottest women on the planet. They all talk about how they want to fuck me.
That one's true.
Yeah. Okay. DC, can you just do like a few strums on your guitar while I think of a story?
What? You've had 7 days!
Well, I didn't know DC was actually gonna come to the podcast again. Welcome to my story with Lol No Pound, featuring DC.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this occurred back in high school when I was, as I would always say, a wee lad in it.
He's buying himself time to make this shit up.
Do you guys know? I think it's called Omegle.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of, how would you describe it to somebody who doesn't know Omegle?
It's an online randomized video chatting website.
Yeah, so it's a video chatting website, but it like rolls you a random person. So you type in like your interest, and it calls like a random person, and it connects you with a random person on the planet.
So basically, you type in tits or ass.
Yeah, you type in tits or ass. And so I was having a sleepover at a buddy of mine's house, and there were 3 of them. It was him, me, and another friend. And we got onto Omegle, and we just started...
Isn't it Omegle?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, DC. That was important.
That's
No,
embarrassing.
it was gonna drive me crazy. I was around when it was called Chat Roulette. The first
That's a
of its
different
kind.
website.
Oh, maybe it was
Yeah, but it's
Chat
the same
Roulette.
concept.
Maybe it was Chat Roulette.
Yeah.
Oh, really important detail.
Right? So, it was like 2 a.m., and we were just going through Chat Roulette, and...
I like you've changed the story for a bit.
And all of a sudden, we come across these 2 bombshell, like Swedish babes.
False. There are no women on these websites.
And
it's all dicks.
They are like blonde and just incredibly hot.
I can tell you're crafting this story as you go because you're getting excited about the story that you're making up. You're like, okay.
And they're not as hot as women who are half Asian, half white. That's the hottest race of people. But these 2 blonde Swedish girls, and they have just incredibly perky big tits. And they start dancing, and they show us like their cleavage. But they say they're not going to show us their tits unless the 3 of us take our dicks out and start beating off in front of each other. So, and looking back, we were like 14. So this is like super illegal. So all 3 of us.
They're fucking pedophiles.
They can't help it. They were born that way.
So all 3 of us are sitting on a sofa with, and so all 3 of us like take our dicks out.
No, you don't. No.
We start beating off, and so they finally like take their bra off, and they start dancing around, and like doing like a little dance for us, and all 3 of us just like just come at different times, and then they skip to the next person. And looking back.
How stupid did you feel? If this is true, they skip to the next person, and then you and your boys look at each other with cock in hand, and you're all just like, fuck.
Looking back, it was probably a guy with like a pre-recorded video of two girls. Just, I don't know if there's a way to like overlay it for your video feed. Yeah. But yeah, that's how and it's funny because we had 2 more sleepovers where the 3 of us, we did the same thing, but we never found hot girls. We never found hot girls ever again.
But we still jerked off.
Yeah, we still jerked off. There's this one dickhead. We tried to do it again with 4 of us, and we couldn't find another hot girl. But we found these 2 girls that were like hot. They weren't like getting nude for us or anything, so we didn't like beat off together in a huge row. But one of them literally just took the laptop and just talked to the girl he stopped being a part of the sleepover. He just took the laptop and talked to these girls for like 4 hours and just ignored us for the rest of the night.
I need to know, and if you're making this up, that's great. But for the completion of the story, the 4 of you guys
we completed.
The 4 of you guys would, in search of this experience again, would go on Omegle, and we would ask girls, and you'd say, "Hey, me and my boys will beat off if you show us your boobs."
You don't start.
Bro, who's gonna say yes to that?
No, because 90% of the people we found were guys who already had their dicks out.
I know.
We had our dicks in our pants. We were just. It's like we're gentlemen, so it would start off with our dicks hidden under clothes, and we would say, "Hello, madam. Wonderful Omegle tonight, isn't it?" And then once we would get to once we talked to them for like 2 minutes, we'd be like, "We noticed you had tits under your clothes. If there might perhaps be an exchange that could be done
of goods and services."
But that was the only people the first time with the 3 of us all beating off. That was the first time we ever got to beat off
together.
And that is the conclusion of my story.
Okay. Question time.
You guys asked me questions.
Yeah. What did you do after you all ejaculated?
So they like
step by step. Okay. What happened?
So we beat off. We finished. They went to the next. In fact, we didn't even get to finish. They skipped to the net. They just like skipped us to the next person while we were still trying to finish.
Oh, God.
So we just sat there on a blank screen, trying to remember what they look like, just beating. There's nobody on the camera anymore. All 3 of us just sit there beating off to the memory of what just happened, and then we eventually finished there, and then we just started playing Smash Bros. After.
All right, you know why I asked that question?
Yeah,
I wanted to know, or I wanted to see if you would mention a cleanup. Because what you've just insinuated is that you've all finished, there is ejaculate on at least one of you, and you've just gone, yeah, let's play some Smash Bros.
I don't remember if we went go get tissues before or after. We probably did.
It would be weird if you got tissues before, because then you have the intention of jacking off with your mates in hopes that you're finding some sweet
let me just express.
Once they clicked off and were gone, we were like, so I guess we should just like go ahead and finish what we. So then we went to the restrooms and we got like, okay, here, Jack, here's your tissue. Charles, here's your tissue. Everyone's got their cum rag. All right, let's get back to the sofa and finish our business so we can play some Smash Bros.
All right, DC, you got a question?
No, I just wanted to. Oh, about the story. Yeah, I might. No, I thought you meant. Never mind. I just want to express my sheer just discomfort with the thought of you and your boys just jerking it off right next to each other. Dude.
Okay, well, I do have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
Since
Bailey Sherlock Holmes over here.
Since that time, have you ever beaten off the boys ever again?
We didn't.
Did it become something that you wanted to indulge in more?
We didn't take our dicks out, but we went into a room with a computer and and one of our friends was like, "Hey, check this out," and they pulled up. Let me make sure I'm getting the name right.
Well, this brings us to our next segment. This is another time Pound was sent to therapy for sexual indulgences.
Do you guys know the Disney movie Goof Troop?
No.
It's Goofy. It's him and like his son, and they have like some next door neighbors.
Yes, I do know that movie.
Were
Yes.
you beating off to this?
Yeah, they pulled not the movie itself, but somebody made a comic of I guess they're like dogs or rats or something. I don't know what they are. I guess they're dogs. And there's this webcomic of like the mom dog was like, "Yeah, Goofy, you should fuck me," and she like took her tits out, and we were all like, "Yeah, for a dog, that's some pretty nice tits." We didn't beat off to it.
Ready to guess, DC.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right,
to guess.
we'll do 3, 2, 1. Then we say truth or lie. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Lie.
Lie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pound.
It is a truthful story.
No, it
Oh
isn't.
my!
No, it is not.
What made you think I wouldn't have done that?
God. Well, that's what I was so worried about in the back of my mind. I was like, I know this is true, but please, for the
No,
love
it's
of God,
not.
let this be.
No, it's not. I'm not having this.
Pound was worried on the last episode. He admitted to taking illicit drugs, but now he's gone far above, beyond, way worse than that.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
now
masturbated.
Circle jerk.
Pound, you're a victim of sexual assault.
Yeah, I had
Those were grown women.
Yeah, these like Swedish pedophiles fucking took advantage of it.
What the fuck? What kind of friends do you have?
Yeah, for real, bro. What kind of sleepovers were you having?
I didn't say it was every time. I said it happened once.
That's even weirder. It's more normal if you're just 3 gay kids.
Wait, Pound, I guess a question I would have had was whenever they were like, hey...
Why didn't you ask this?
Well, it just came into my mind. I was like, we'll show you our boobs if you guys start jerking off. Which one was the first friend? Or what look did you guys share? Were you all just like in agreement? Like, yep, let's do it like right now?
We were
like,
in
just,
100% agreement. We were like, yeah, we gotta jerk off to this.
No, I still think he's fucking lying. I think he just wants the credit. That
Yeah, that's it. You figured it. I'm an evil mastermind.
I don't believe it. I'm still not believing it.
That's an insane story.
All right, well, Pound, you have 3 points. I'm on 1, and DC, you're still on 0.
He hasn't done it yet.
Wait, why does he get 3 points for fooling
So
us? Is it
yeah.
just
So
one?
every person
Okay.
you fool, you get a point, and every time you guess right, you get a point.
Oh, I got you.
So Pound
He
guessed right last time, got us both this time. I got you last time.
Gotcha.
And you've done fuck all, DC. You're fucking useless. Pound's gonna win this segment of the show.
I know he is. I know.
So fucking easily.
I know he is. I'm so upset. I'm silent because I'm just.
Me too. I don't. I just want you to hold me for a second, DC.
Yeah, I know.
I need a moment.
Pound, you have stories that just rock me to my core, bro.
Alright, and also, can we set, not a rule, but an advisory? Not all of the stories we tell on this segment
sexual.
be about sex.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty easy in-law.
That's going to be easy for me because I don't have that.
It's just gonna be me and Pound rattling off sex stories, and DC's like, DC's like, I see so little woman that when I was 12, I asked my sister to strip off.
Classic, guys. We're canceled, by the way, for sure. After all of this, we're definitely canceled.
We haven't done anything. We haven't endorsed it.
Yeah,
Pound's gonna have like a
sister.
Pound's gonna have some investigator show up at his door on Monday and be like, we have a couple questions to ask.
He's gonna be
you."
like, so, have you heard of the BPD Podcast?
We've been tracking these 2 Swedish girls down for years.
Wait, how did you know they were Swedish?
I guess
Because they were like, you want to see my boobies?
How did you know?
I don't think they directly said it. I think we just guessed based off of their like looks and accent.
So the story wasn't completely true.
I never said they said they were Swedish.
No, but you did affirmatively say that they were Swedish.
That was
What if they
I'm telling it from my perspective.
But you didn't stipulate that. So I'm saying.
You're literally a
Wait, did
cunt.
I-
share the point.
Wait, did I share my shampoo bottle story to stream one time?
Yes.
Oh,
Every
fuck,
time.
bro. That's one of. That's
not streamed without sharing it.
that is not true, dude. What do you mean? I would not tell that story on my life right now.
It's already out there.
I'm sorry.
I know.
If somebody said they were gonna kill you if you didn't share it, you would not share it.
I'm taking the bullet to the head.
He's done it for free before. What do you mean? Are we fucking done, lads? I'm
we're
fucking
done.
done.
Yeah, we're done.
Well, we have to have a better ending than that.
No, obviously
Yeah,
DC
we'll have
does
an
his
end.
song.
Yeah, but we have to lead into the song somehow.
No, we don't. Just go. Just rattle off
DC, you take. I'm gonna improv for 30
Monkey
seconds.
dance.
No, DC, you come up with some lyrics in your head. I'm going to improv for 30 seconds until you're ready to do the outro. Okay?
Hold on. Let me just let me think for 1 second.
That's what
got
I'm just
30.
said. Yeah.
No, I won't be able to think while he's singing in my ear.
Just mute then. Mute the fucking. He's not singing. He's just gonna talk.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Okay, guys, thanks for stopping by the BPD Podcast, brought to you by Bang Energy, the number one energy
Bang
source.
could be the B in BPD.
Then what are you?
Bang.
Bang powered drink podcast.
You're distracting him.
Okay, continue.
We've learned a lot that's gonna keep me up at night about Pound and his stories, and we've had a lot of frights. We don't know that Pound was sexually assaulted by a Berlin.
It's not that weird to beat off with your friends.
Me and my boys beat off in our sleepovers. We like to jerk it in a circle. So tune on into the BPD Podcast. Grab your shampoo bottles and laughs and have a lot of fun in the BPD Podcast.
Oh my god, Amy totally just blew my mind when she said it's the BPD Podcast stands for beating Pound's dick.
That's horrible.
All right, that's where you cut. That's the end.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.